Message. Please help me get a white man to marry. If you want to get a white man, don't do what AD did on Love is Blind Season 6. This is the relationship breakdown by Tatiana and James. AD and Clay.
Otherwise known as Amber, Desiree, and Clayton.
His name's Clayton?
Yeah, no, they do look good together. They look really good together. They're probably the best looking couple. I'm not going to lie.
Premise of the show, they don't speak to each other, or they don't see each other. They're speaking to each other in a pause. They fall in love. They get engaged. And then they meet each other. Drama ensues, and then they decide if they want to get married or not. Mathew sat down and was like, I have a questionnaire of 15 questions. Pick a number. And then Amber was one of the ones that was like, number 7. And he's like, I get that one a lot. Pick a different question.
Yeah, and that's all they showed, like them two talking. Mathew is the other contender for Amber Desiree's heart. He was competing with Clayton to win AD's heart, and Clayton won. But
did Clayton win?
I was actually rooting for Mathew. I know a lot of people are thinking he's like an axe murderer or like a psychopath, but I didn't get that vibe. You know, obviously I'm with a white man. I like to believe that I can read some of them sometimes, and they're not always the most. White people are weird. I'm sorry. They're weird. That, which I think Ada did. She broke down some of those barriers, and she was falling in until she started being messy. Yeah, because we're all here to date. So he's going to date other people. And sometimes some men are not creative. They're going to use the same line to every girl until it works on someone. She was upset and stopped talking to Mathew, or just broke up with Mathew, which to me, I see as a black girl, I see a lot of black girls do this because statistically black women prefer black men. And I just saw how she would do anything to sabotage her connection with Mathew so she can have a reason to pick Clay. And I literally saw how all of that played out. No one has spoken about this on the internet, but that was like, ooh, I see it. Because Mathew was her first white man she's ever connected emotionally with.
No, let me cut you there, because the biggest thing that highlights and confirms your opinion, okay, we're outside of the pods. AD and Kenneth, if you remember Kenneth, the middle school principal, I believe, vice principal, and he was with, I forgot her name, Brittany?
Yeah, Brittany.
Brittany, a white girl. It was a black man and a white woman. The first conversation between AD and Kenneth, AD brings up, okay, will she be able to raise black kids, kids like us, right? Will she be able to do that?
Teach them about their blackness.
Teach them about their blackness, right? So with that mentality, thinking inside the pods like, I have a good feeling that Mathew's white, and then immediately the next day sabotage for that relationship. Like, she's taken every little thing that he's doing to, like you said, justify why she would want to paint her nails red to match the red flag, Clay.
Exactly. Like, I saw everything she did to sabotage that so she doesn't, because if she just focused on the positive, she would see that her connection with Mathew was more natural, was more organic. Like with Clay, it feels familiar because he's black. She feels like she knows how to handle a black man, and that's just how it's always been. With a white man, that would be like a unknown territory, and she's not ready for that, you know, especially at 32, learning how to deal with the different culture, learning how to deal with the something different. It takes work, and she got scared immediately, and she's like, let me find any reason to see how this is not gonna work, because I want this. I want Clay. I want that. Diving
into more, that's kind of like the lead up and beginning of their relationship, but diving more into how Clay and AD are outside of the pods together.
And even in the pod, Clay gave her more of reasons to break up with him.
Headache,
Because once he learned that she was also dating somebody else, and what the other person looked like, Mathew, a white man, he comparing himself like he's like, I'm competing for a black woman with a white man. He lost it, brother, lost it.
He just completely glossed over and didn't give a flying crap about anything she just said, any of her real feelings, real emotions in this experiment. But outside of the pods, he will every 5 seconds bring up the fact that his dad was a piece of crap and cheated on his mom, and that he's like, dude, you know what? We need to go to therapy. Like, you've been in this.
I'm scared of cheating.
Like, I can see that they would work, right? And he seems like a pretty stand-up guy. Like, he's got a lot going for him. Yeah. She seems like somebody, I mean, probably has a minimum wage job somewhere. She got her license, and they were like, you know what? Real estate agent.
He's a hard-working man, and he's starting a business. So that is very enticing for women.
It's weird because a woman talking about a man's looks isn't perceived as shallow, but a woman talking about how much money a man makes is perceived as shallow. Yeah. So I think she's trying to paint the picture that, oh yeah, he looks good, of course I want to talk to him. But if a man goes, oh, she looks good, of course I want to talk to her, the perception looks shallow.
But she wouldn't admit that immediately. To me, it looks like she's willing to put up with the red flag of cheating because of his looks, and potentially the fact that he could be financially well off to take care of her.
Totally viable options. Totally viable reasons.
It's okay. It's a good reason, but
that's what literally every woman does. Is like, I want somebody that's going to be able to take care of me. Like, you ask any boss lady that's looking to, you know, I'm an independent woman, whatever. If you gave them the right guy, like in 80s mind, Clay is amazing looking.
Yeah. She definitely painted her nails red to match the red flags with Clay, that's for sure. And I think she is telling herself that she's willing to put up with all of that, the headache for the looks, because she hasn't shut up about how Clayton looks good. Yeah. And also underlying reason to me, I feel like, you know, if she start having kids or whatever, she wants a man who has it together, and Clay does seem like he has it together, but she hasn't openly said it. I can kind of see on how she moves. And final words on Eddie and Clay, I feel like she's gonna say yes on the altar, but long term she's gonna be shocked. You know, Clay, I can already see, I wouldn't say he's like a selfish guy, but everything he's gonna work hard for, I don't think he's gonna willingly just take care of Adie the way she's anticipating, or the way she thinks. And that could be like, well, I'm putting up with this crap for nothing. And, you know, I don't want to say they're not gonna work out, but like, that's pretty much everybody's saying. Like, it's kind of like, I really don't see it, but we can be surprised. You know, they do look good together. They look really good together. They're probably the best looking couple, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And I will say that her nails look very nice red.